to honor Trans Day of Remembrance. This week, I had the pleasure of interviewing 5 individuals that were trans or non-binary. And the common theme that really stood out to me this week is when I asked each of them the question, what do you want people to know about you? They all pretty much had the same answer, that they just want people to know that they're like everybody else. And I find that to be very kind of powerful, that the 5 people pretty much said the same thing. So today we're just going to do some honoring. We have Valette here that is going to do some healing with us. We have Jolie, who is going to be speaking with us. We have Rhea with us as well. So we hope you guys enjoy, and we're going to let Jolie take it away.
Hi, I'm going to talk a little bit about the history of this day and kind of some of the things that it means. Transgender Day of Remembrance, unsurprisingly, has its roots in tragedy. In November 1998, Rita Hester, a Black transgender woman, was killed in Boston, Massachusetts. She was a beloved figure in the Boston trans community, which held a massive candlelight vigil for her, led by trans activist Nancy Nangaroni. Rita's murder is still unsolved. Soon after, trans writer Gwendolyn Ann Smith found that users in a transgender AOL chat room were unfamiliar with trans murder cases like Rita's. And Gwen realized that the trans community was losing our history as media misrepresented it and swept it under the rug. So she founded the web project Remembering Our Dead. And the next year, in November 1999, Gwen Smith and Penny Ash Matz, I apologize if I stumble over names during all this. They coordinated twin vigils in Boston and San Francisco, and the Trans Day of Remembrance was born. And it quickly grew until now it's observed worldwide. On Trans Day of Remembrance, or TDOR, we commemorate and mourn trans people who have been murdered, often reading a litany of names of those killed in the past year, which we'll be doing today. It's an important time of grieving for many of us, but as trans people, our relationship to this day is often fraught. Some have criticized the focus on death and the fearful defeatist culture that it creates. And the list of names only includes murders, not deaths from suicide and other factors. There's a lot of ways for transphobia to kill. And also an intersectional lens reveals that the vast majority of murdered trans people are Black, and many of them sex workers, which makes the appropriation of their deaths by white and relatively privileged trans people dicey at best. And even the founder, Gwen Smith, has expressed ambivalence about spawning this holiday, wondering in an interview, like, what did I unleash? Did I do the right thing? Was this the event that our community should have? A lot of TDOR events are, for obvious reasons, focused around our deaths and dying. And can we be something more than our deaths? That's a question that I think about every year when this comes around. The Trans Day of Remembrance has served an important function in the trans community at a time when both our lives and our deaths were largely erased. But over time, the trans community's needs have evolved. TDOR's uncomfortable focus on trans death has spawned efforts to refocus attention towards trans life. Trans Day of Visibility on March 31st and Transgender Awareness Week, which we're in the middle of right now, held in the second week of November, serve to counterbalance TDOR with a celebration of transgender activism, creativity, and resilience. So on this Transgender Day of Remembrance in 2020, we mourn our dead, yes, but I ask you, especially if you're cisgender, do not wait until a trans person is dead to commemorate them. Hold your trans dear ones close while they are living. Protect our most vulnerable at a time when both trans antagonism and white supremacy is on the rise. Let's all uplift our incredible, resplendent gifts, fight tirelessly for our rights, and move forward toward a day when this holiday is obsolete. Thanks.
Dustin Parker.
Penelope Diaz Ramirez.
Brayla Stone.
Leah Rayshawn Day.
Noelisa Luciano Ruiz.
Nina Pop.
Mercy Mack.
Key Sam.
Yampi Mendez Arocho.
Haley J. O'Regan.
Shakti Peters.
Ariane Burnett.
Scott Scotland DeVore.
Tony McDade.
Bree Black.
Mia Green.
Monica Diamond.
Dominique Remini Fells.
Summer Taylor.
Michelin Ramos Vargas.
Lexi.
Raya Milton.
Marilyn Cazares.
Felicia Harris.
Joanna Metzger.
Jane Thompson.
Dior H. Ova.
Brooklyn Deshuna.
Serena Angelique Velasquez Ramos.
Selena Reyes Hernandez.
Keisha D. Hardy.
Sarah Blackwood.
Leila Pelaez Sanchez.
Brian Egypt Powers.
Asia Raquel Roan Spears.
Angel Unique. Uneski Carrie Herrera.
We're going to start a little bit today with connecting to our breath before we start our sound healing session. Feel free to close your eyes if that is what feels good to you. Go ahead and take a deep breath in through your nose and release out through your mouth, and we're going to do 5 breaths together. Breathe in through your nose and out through the mouth. One more. And also take a moment to just do a light tap into your heart region 3 times.
As we take the time to remember all of those who have been taken from us through violence over this past year, we use the grief and the thoughts and we hold them close so that there are fires in our belly to remind us to hold the transgender and gender nonconforming people in our lives close while they're here. And as a parent and as a mom, I just wanted to say to all of the beautiful people out there who are trans and gender nonconforming, just like my 11-year-old kiddo, that you are perfect and you are precious, and I am so proud of you.
Thank you, Rhea. And thank you, Valette. As a wife of a trans man, I just want to speak to couples out there. I know that my story looks like a fairy tale that, he just walked in and said, I'm trans. And I was like, yes, honey, everything's great. It's not easy. It's not easy. And I'm very blessed that we both work at it and we bring in professionals we needed. But people that are trans and non-binary, they need support. They need your love. Even if you don't understand it, even if it makes you feel weird, even if you have a lot of internalizing to do, they need support. And so I just want to remind couples that it's not easy, but it is doable if you have the right team of people around you supporting you. And to any trans or non-binary people out there, I see you and I love you. Thank you. Valette?
And myself, as a non-binary person, as a parent, a sister, and just a being, I feel that support and loving care and building community is essential that you can do as you get to know parts of yourself that that have always been within, but you're now ready to start showing to the world, and that's a very beautiful thing. Thank you so much for being a part of this.
Thank you very much. Jolie, do you have any last words?
I do. Yeah, as a trans person myself, I know it can be really hard. I'm really scared sometimes. I'm really lonely sometimes, really despairing sometimes, but I have to believe that things are grim, but they're not hopeless. I have with me always the emblems of Sylvia Rivera and Marsha P. Johnson. Sometimes I wear them, and sometimes they're on my altar. But I just think about icons like Sylvia and Marsha, and just how they fought tirelessly for trans rights and trans dignity. And I just ask every day that I have the same strength and the same courage. And I hope that every trans person or loved one of a trans person watching this can also claim that strength and courage. And yeah, the thing I'll never get tired of saying, mourn the dead and fight like hell for the living.
Yes.
Thanks.
Thank you all for being here and for joining us. We appreciate you. We love you. And we thank everybody for joining us. Have an amazing day.